now, we want to get back to the breaking news. The Vatican announcing this morning that Pope Francis has died at 88. People from all over the world and here in the tri-state are starting to react to the news of his death. WCPO 9 News reporter Ellie Kramer is live at St. Peter in Chains Cathedral Basilica downtown, where they're going to hold a mass in just minutes.
They are, and I know, Kristen, that the doors opened just about 30 minutes ago to let parishioners in, and so what a somber service it will be. Mass starting at 7 o'clock this morning, the first in the greater Cincinnati area since the Pope's passing, and certainly will be discussed this morning. We just are kind of reflecting on the life, the legacy of Pope Francis. He was known as one that brought joy and hope to the poorest of the poor. He drew attention to the most disadvantaged people, including immigrants and refugees, and just yesterday, we saw Pope Francis. He appeared from the balcony overlooking Vatican City and the square. He was in a wheelchair, blessing the crowd and wishing them a happy Easter. He was recently released after a 38-day hospital stay, battling a case of double pneumonia. Francis had only appeared in public a handful of times since returning to the Vatican after that hospital stay. The Pope called for peace and an end to the conflicts in the Middle East, Ukraine, and elsewhere. And we actually talked with Kathleen Harmon. She is one of the Sisters of Notre Dame, and she shared a little bit about how she feels about the Pope's legacy.
His great legacy, writing Laudato Si about the climate situation and our moral obligation to love the earth and all creatures and protect the earth, was an outstanding statement that has impacted not only within the church, but all kinds of systems around the world, because it was a leadership position about taking a stance to care for the earth.
Now, we also saw that the Pope met with Vice President J.D. Vance. They shared Easter greetings just yesterday while he was visiting in Rome and Vatican City. And something else that we are hearing about the Pope as many share his life, his legacy, he was more accepting of the LGBTQ plus community. And he also put women in positions of power within the diocese. So going to be exploring a lot more of his legacy and what he has done for the Catholic Church. But we'll also be waiting outside, again, St. Peter in Chains, downtown Cincinnati, for that Mass to start at 7 o'clock as others continue to kind of share their stories and their experiences through the Pope.
Certainly, yeah. And as mentioned, Vice President J.D. Vance was reacting to this news just a little while ago on X. He said, in part, "My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved the Pope." The Vice President referenced his time with the Pope yesterday on Easter Sunday. He said, quote, "I was happy to see him yesterday, though he was obviously very ill. May God rest his soul." And as Catholics around the world mourn the death of Pope Francis, the Vatican is preparing for what comes next. First, Pope Francis will lie in state. His funeral will be held within a week of his death. The process of selecting a new pope begins when conclave is convened between 15 and 20 days after Francis's passing. Conclave can last up to 13 days. The new pontiff will be installed within 5 days after he is elected.